So I'm Jamie, and this is Mr. Curt with
Pohlman Building Inspections.
All right, so we're back, and obviously the word inspections is in your name.
It is.
So there we go. So let's do this. Let's kick off a series on talking about inspections. One, let's talk about why it's important, and then throughout this series, we're just gonna break the inspection down, like
Sure.
from foundation to what all it entails, because you're the expert, I'm not, right? And so let's talk, why are inspections so important?
Why are inspections so important? First of all, the best people to answer that are the people who, over the last 2 months, who have decided to skip their home inspection during the buying process. So there is a percentage of my business right now who we're going back into these houses. The people that waived their inspections in order to get their deal. And hey, people got to do what they got to do. But wow. So anyway, to answer that question is, why are home inspections or inspections in general so important? I think the best way to answer that is people just don't know what they don't know.
I like that.
Okay,
it's
so
true.
Don't ask me to change the oil on the car. I'm not a mechanic. Don't ask me, when or what's wrong with your car. I don't even know. You know? And so I think that there's a miscommunication or misconception that your Uncle Bob, who was a carpenter, or your Uncle Will, who was an electrician, who are handy guys, that they're the same thing as a home inspector. And I don't put myself on the same level as a rocket scientist by any means. But what we do is a profession, and it just a professional home inspection is not the same thing as having a handyman or somebody that's really familiar with houses come in and take a look at it for you. It's just not the same thing. I like to tell people that when we come in to do a home inspection, it's almost like taking it for a test drive. So we're going to operate your dishwasher. We're going to run your faucets. We're going to run the showers. We're going to open up the electric panels, run the furnaces, the air conditioners, the whole 9 yards. And so really it's just like an extremely thorough test drive. And people are just usually blown away when they're shown just the thoroughness of what a true home inspection is.
So do you like let's go from the buyer's perspective. So, if you're buying, what do you like them to be there with you in the trenches?
Yes, I do. And I might be the only inspector on the planet that chooses that. A lot of people...
But why do you do that?
I'm going there. A lot of people like to show up at the end and look and ask, so how did it go? And then my head is like this because we've gone through so many things over the past hour and a half, 2 hours, that it's impossible for me to give you all the information that I feel like you should know. So now, and we do work with anybody the way they need to be worked. But when somebody asks me that very question, I get asked that question. I can't even tell you how often. I mean, it's just constant.
Yeah.
I tell people, if your inspection starts at 8:30 in the morning, be there at 8:30. Let me introduce myself. Let me, make straight who I work for. And you can get to know me, and you're invited to be in my back pocket and go through this house with me.
That's amazing.
Because, and I always tell somebody, listen, we're going to be on a systematic run through here. And if you're close to me, I'm going to run my yapper at you. And some of the stuff you're going to care about, some of the stuff you're not going to care about. I said, but it's my job to tell you.
Yeah.
But if they end up going wandering off with mom or dad or whoever it may be,
they're going to miss.
They're going to read something in the report that, they may not understand quite like they would as if they were in my back pocket.
So it's up close and personal look at your home. So this potential, investment, this big financial investment you are making, hands-on, be there and walk through it so you understand it, because then you can make a good decision of, is this the right home, or do you need to walk away? Because there are some people that may go, oh gosh, they hear all these things, and you can at least then tell them what.
Well, that's just as important. Is we're going to find things wrong with the house.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're doing almost 20 years. And I don't even know how many inspections. I still haven't found a house that everything was perfect. It's not there.
Yeah.
And so I think a good home inspectors, and we have some awesome home inspectors in the area, but good ones are going to take the time to explain the problem and you know, and I'm not saying sugarcoat anything. Just take the time to explain what's common, what is a remedy for it.
Yeah.
You know, this, that, and the other. So,
well, let's do that. I mean, for me, I just think that whole just roller coaster of emotions, right? When you're purchasing, so you're at least taking it, and then they hear something, and you can be like, wait, it's not as big of a deal. This is okay. This is what I do. Let's do this. Like I said, let's do this series. Let's break down the inspection and just let's hammer it down, and then we'll just take it from the beginning and just everything you do, break it down and what that looks like and sounds like. Sound good?
Absolutely.
All right.